Joining us virtually from Toronto on Bell Let's Talk Day is Caitlin Morrison, Executive Director of Matthew Perry House. She's here to talk about Live Loud Live, a Bell Let's Talk special now streaming on Crave. Caitlin, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much. It's really good to see you.
You as well. Okay, let's talk about Live Loud Live, how it brings together music, mental health, and addiction in such a powerful way. Why was it important for Matthew Perry House to be part of this, and what do you hope audiences take away from it?
Well, it was important for us because, everything we do is about Matthew. Music was his love language, his therapy, just about everything for him. It was, there was a soundtrack to his life and to our lives together, and it made sense to bring music into it. But what ended up coming together was this just incredible expression of artists and passion and like a really accessible thing where you feel like the people who are, kind of idols to you, the people who you think are just immune to everything, they're getting on stage, they're singing a song, but they're talking about the things that matter to them, and you realize that, the things you go through, other people go through it too, and it's okay to find an outlet for that. It was really nice. It makes me cry a little bit.
Oh, I bet. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. And Matthew Perry House focuses on life after treatment, which is something that many people don't talk about. Can you explain why post-treatment support is so critical?
Absolutely. Well, the thing about treatment is that it addresses a crisis in people's lives. It addresses a moment where everything has sort of come crashing down and there's nowhere else you can go but a place to get help. And when you've reached that point on a substance use journey, if you will, going into treatment and sort of escaping from your life for a minute and finding a second of sobriety is all very well and good. But the brain still takes a long time to heal. The life that has been impacted by substance use is still very much chaotic and has a lot of broken pieces and a lot of relationships that need to be fixed. And I think to be really successful in the longer term, to find like a really glorious life after substance use and to not feel the need to go back to it as your only source of comfort, figuring out how to address those lives, to rebuild, to get to a place where you feel like you can be content in the life that you're in is something that is forgotten on the recovery journey, and we want it to be remembered, and we want everybody to have access to it.
And this project honors Matthew Perry's legacy. What does it mean to you personally to see his commitment to helping others carried forward in this way?
It is like the greatest honor of my life to be a small part of carrying it forward. I was probably his biggest fan in the whole world. He was a superstar to me before anybody had any idea who he was. But the thing that made me the proudest of him was watching him share his story and try to make other people feel better about sharing their stories, and trying to make sure that people knew they weren't being weak if they asked for help. They were being incredibly brave if they asked for help. And I know that helped a lot of people, because there are a lot of people who have reached out to me to tell me and help them. And I just want to keep that going. I want to speak for him and say, it's okay. It's going to get better. And if you raise your hand today, the rest of your days are going to be better than they would if you don't.
Let's talk a little bit about this year's Bell Let's Talk theme, which is taking a moment for mental health. In your own life, what does it mean to take a moment for mental health, and what does that look like for you?
I have to do this all the time because I'm the kind of person where I sort of feel like if I stop moving, if I stop like really pushing to do all the things that I feel like need to get done, everything is going to fall apart. And that's not a sustainable way to live, and that leads to incredible amounts of anxiety. So I have to take a lot of mental health moments a lot of the time every day. And for me, sometimes that means just, sitting quietly with my eyes closed and telling the thoughts that don't need to be there to go away. Sometimes it's turning on a song in the car that I love and singing at the top of my lungs and being glad nobody can hear me. Sometimes it's, going and cutting down a tree that doesn't need to be there because a chainsaw makes you feel real powerful. But it's all kinds of different things that can be those moments. Taking that time reminds you that it's really not just okay to slow down, not just okay to take a pause. It makes everything that you do better because it keeps you in a headspace where you're not going to panic, you're not going to freak out when things get hard. You know that that moment of serenity and peace can always be there for you. So I make it a habit, and I highly recommend making it a habit.
Well, thank you, Caitlin, so much for this open and honest conversation with us here today.
Oh, well, thank you. It's always good to see you, and I hope to see you again soon.
You as well. We can't wait for that.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. And just to remember that today is Bell Let's Talk Day, a national reminder for Canadians to prioritize their mental health. Organizers are hoping Canadians will join them in breaking down the stigma.